The town folks called it Deadman's Hollow, a stretch of land in rural Pennsylvania, where the earth never grew green and the air always carried the smell of damp wood and rotting leaves. Locals warned never to drive that road after sundown. They said the old farmhouse sitting at the end of the dirt track was cursed. A place where time stopped, where no bird ever sang, and where the screams of the past bled into the silence of the present. One cold October night, 3 friends Michael, Aaron, and Jess decided to prove the legend wrong. They weren't teenagers chasing thrills. They were adults in their 30s, carrying cameras and flashlights, hoping to film a YouTube exploration video that would debunk the myths. But the deeper they drove into the hollow, the quieter the night became. The hum of cicadas faded. The moon vanished behind thick clouds. Even the wind seemed to stop breathing. The farmhouse stood waiting at the end of the road. Its windows were hollow sockets, its door crooked like a mouth that had been screaming for decades. The porch sagged under its own weight, and the blackened wood gave off the smell of charred earth, as if fire had licked its bones, but never finished the job. Inside, the air was colder than it should have been. Not just chilly but bone-numbing, like walking straight into a morgue. Their flashlights swept across peeling wallpaper, broken furniture, and claw marks gouged deep into the walls. Not animal marks. Not human either. Something in between. Jess whispered, "Do you hear that?" At first, the others didn't. Then yes, a faint dragging sound, like chains scraping across the floorboards above them. The second floor? But the staircase was collapsed. Broken decades ago. Nothing could be moving up there. Nothing alive. Michael raised his camera, filming the empty ceiling. Suddenly, the dragging stopped. In its place came a sound so faint it made their skin crawl laughter. High-pitched. Childlike. Except no child had lived in that house for nearly a century. Aaron's voice shook. "This isn't funny. Who's up there?" Silence. Then, a whisper. So close, it brushed against their ears, though no one's lips moved. "Get out." The 3 froze, their breaths fogging in the unnatural cold. Michael's flashlight flickered, and for half a second, it revealed something standing at the far end of the hallway. A figure? Not solid, but not transparent either. Its face blurred, as though smeared across the air like wet paint. Its head tilted unnaturally to the side, eyes glowing faintly like embers in a dying fire. The figure didn't walk. It glided. 1 second, it was 20 feet away. The next, only 5. The smell of burnt flesh filled the hallway. Jess screamed, dropping her light. In that instant, every door in the house slammed shut at once, shaking the rotting walls. Panic tore through them. They ran for the exit, but the front door that had creaked open minutes ago was now sealed, nailed shut from the inside. The windows? Boarded. Solid. As if the house itself had trapped them. Then, the whispers started. Not one voice. Male, female, children. All speaking at once, overlapping, impossible to understand. The sound grew louder, sharper, until it drilled into their skulls like knives. Michael covered his ears, blood trickling from his nose. Aaron screamed, thrashing against the walls, leaving streaks of red where his nails tore through his own skin. Jess turned, gasping, and saw the figure again. But this time, it was right behind Michael, its burnt hand resting on his shoulder. He froze, eyes wide, lips trembling, as though trying to speak. And then he wasn't there anymore. Just gone. The camera hit the floor with a crack, recording nothing but static. Jess and Aaron tried to run deeper into the house, desperate to find another way out. The dragging sound returned, following them no matter which room they entered. Every mirror reflected not their faces, but the figure closer, closer, until the glass itself began to crack. One spiderweb line at a time, leaking black liquid that smelled like iron in decay. Aaron vanished next. One blink, and he was gone, swallowed by the shadows. His scream echoed for a second, then cut off like a string being snapped. Jess fell to her knees, sobbing, as the whispers turned into screams. Hundreds of them, begging, pleading, cursing. And then came silence. The last thing Jess remembered was a hand, cold and wet, covering her mouth from behind. The world went black. Weeks later, police found the farmhouse exactly as it had always been abandoned, broken, empty. No bodies were recovered, only Michael's shattered camera, lying in the hallway. The footage was unwatchable, just static, hissing endlessly. Except, if you turned the volume up high enough, beneath the static, you could hear them. 3 distinct voices, whispering, screaming, trapped forever in Deadman's Hollow.